Meowth, the feline pocket monster of Team Rocket, and Tony Chopper, the doctor of the Straw Hat Pirates. Welcome to the new year, homie, as today marks the first video of 2024. We have the coolest cat going fist to fist, or claw to hoof, to our favorite fawn. So, without further ado, welcome to Fiction Duel. Has a plethora of gadgets and inventions specialized to capture and combat even the strongest of Pokémon, if the plot allows them, of course, even electric-resistant equipment to handle a certain yellow mouse. Rocket-based jetpacks, hot air balloons based on certain Pokémon traverse the air when they're not blasting off again, submarines that can dive into the deepest parts of the ocean, cages/nets to capture Pokémon, and disguises to hide from pesky twerps. Focusing on the mechs for a moment, what makes them special is that many of them can absorb and redirect attacks, have rocket-based abilities, and explosives of any kind. Classified as the Cat Scratch Pokémon, Meowth, as his Pokédex entry implies, is well known for his contact moves in Scratch and Fury Swipes. In its move pool, Meowth would naturally have stat-reducing moves in Growl and the added effect of Play Rough, alongside with its abilities in Technician and Unnerve. Having ate the Hito no Mi as a young reindeer, Chopper gains human-like traits like a bipedal nature and genius levels of intelligence so that he can receive training to become a doctor from Dr. Kuriha. He was able to study his own body and develop a medicine called Rubble Balls that could lead him to master his Devil Fruit to the point of his awakening. His heavy point in its first appearance was able to knock down pre-time skip Luffy and Sanji. Guard Point turns him into a fluffy boy and maximizes his defenses. In his Arm Point form, not only does it strengthen his arms, he can also perform his Kukete Roseo, an attack so strong it can leave hoof prints in the opponent in the form of Sakura petals. We haven't even gotten into his strongest form, that being his Monster Point, the pinnacle of his Devil Fruit, as far as we know, of course. Luckily, after the time skip, he has since mastered Monster Point to the level he can control it. He can even enter his other point forms without the aid of a Rumble Ball, including a new form in Kung Fu Point, except for Monster Point, which he has a time limit on. Despite being part of a meme-filled cowardly trio and a bounty of only 1,000 berries, his power post-time skip is not to be underestimated. To get a rough estimation of his power, let's go back to Enies Lobby's arc. Luffy's Gear Second, in some translations, is interpreted to be a 10 times multiplier, and Rob Lucy's hybrid leopard form was proven to be a match with Luffy at this point in the story. Therefore, since Chopper's fruit is a zone type similar to Luffy and Lucci's, the multiplier should apply to Chopper as well. Chopper's greatest strength feat in the time of me making this video is that he was able to fend off Queen with some help for 30 minutes. This is most impressive because considering Queen scales above the likes of Gear 4 Luffy, who nearly destroyed the entire country of Dressrosa, which would require 4.5 teratons of TNT, and Whole Cake Island Luffy, who became stronger while in his base form. Given the multipliers of Gear 2nd and Gear 4th, Queen would scale above the likes of 4 petatons of TNT, making Chopper relatively small country level to continental level in terms of power. While for the most part, Meowth chooses not to partake in most Pokemon battles, he can still clearly hold his own, when again, the plot needs him to. Similarly, he was able to fend off the likes of a Tyranitar, which I mentioned in my Garchomp video, was capable of destroying large mountains. This is further supported by the fact that in his deluxe Beware mech, Meowth and the rest of Team Rocket were able to survive hits from Guzzlord, which in his Pokédex entry was stated to swallow entire mountains. However, in his Power of Love state, he single-handedly defeated 5 fully evolved Pokémon, all of them severely scaling towards large mountain level, putting Meowth potentially at island level. For speed, Chopper has been shown to dodge Queen's point-blank lasers. These lasers were based on Kizaru's Pika Pika no Mi, a light-based Devil Fruit. And even then, Chopper should upscale from pre-timeskip Zoro, who has shown dodging light beams at 17 times the speed of light, giving Chopper at the very least FTL plus reaction speed. For Meowth, obviously he should upscale from the likes of Diglett, who can pop their heads in and out of holes at light speed and react to digital Pokeballs being thrown at him. Given their most likely digital data, these Pokeballs potentially travel 2/3 the speed of light. However, waking Chopper and Meowth, both fighters could reach massively faster than light speeds if we scale Chopper's Monster Point speed directly towards Gear 4 Luffy and Meowth towards his encounter with Guzzlord and Gothitelle, shifting an entire star system over time. With Meowth's Fury Swipes of Love, he defeated the likes of Infernape, Staraptor, Togekiss, Survivor, and Yanmega, even fighting Ash's Pikachu to a near draw. For Chopper's feats, he defeated Kumadori, a Cypher Pool agent who is a master of the Rokushiki style martial art, Miss Christmas from Baroque Works, and Getatsu, one of Enel's priests. As for intelligence, due to the benefits of Brain Point, Chopper has vast medical knowledge, and with the scope technique, he can pinpoint enemy weaknesses. Meowth shouldn't be far behind either, as he managed to teach himself to walk on 2 legs and speak the human language. Not to mention, he even builds some of Team Rocket's inventions himself. Let's just say this fight takes place in Pallet Town, in a nearby forest area. Meowth is trying to capture powerful Pokemon for Team Rocket, and he comes across Chopper, collecting certain herbs for a medicine he's developing. Meowth mistakes him for a Pokemon and then tries to capture him in a net. Chopper then goes into his heavy point form to defend himself, sparking the beginning of this battle. The outcome of this battle is determined by the specific counters each fighter has in their respective arsenal. While speed-wise, both fighters are relatively the same, Chopper has the advantage in terms of raw physical power, even when conservative estimates are in mind for both characters. Even if I grant Meowth the speed advantage, he doesn't have the attack power necessary to damage Chopper long term. Meowth could potentially close the gap with his many mechs and gadgets. Most of them are one use and have been destroyed by lesser Pokemon, which Chopper would obviously upscale from. The Unnerve ability could potentially stop him from going into his Monster Point form at the beginning. Even then, Chopper at 1/10 of his power is more than capable of overwhelming Meowth, even with his contraptions. All it would take for Chopper to end this fight is for Chopper to use Scope to exploit Meowth's weaknesses, going into Jump Point or Horn Point to get out of Meowth's line of sight, eat a Rumble Ball, and flatten that naughty pussycat, making cotton candy lover Chopper the winner. That's all for today's video, homies. Hope you enjoyed this first 2024 installment of Fiction Duel. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more content, and tell me in the comments below what kind of matchups you want to donate for this year's lineup. Until next time, keep on creating. See you around.